Welcome back, third graders. I've got Miss Winnie here with me for chapter 10 called No. You ready? She's ready. All right. For the next 2 days, I went on a rampage. If I saw a little kid with a Twinkie I wanted, I snatched it from him. If I saw a little kid on a swing, I pushed him off, whether I wanted to use it or not. I laughed in class during silent reading. The teacher told me to stop, but I kept laughing. She gave me a detention after school, my first ever detention, and I laughed through it all. Instead of putting candy wrappers in my pocket, I threw them in the street. I walked across people's front lawns, I rang doorbells and ran. My mother put a new box of Klondike bars in the freezer, and I ate them all. I stuck my chewing gum on my bedpost. I left my dirty clothes on the floor. The next time Bubba bared his fangs and went wat wat wat, I said, "That's my name, badness is my game." And I tied him to the bathroom doorknob. I snuck up on Zippernose. She was in her room laying on her stomach on the floor, reading, wearing socks. I pounced. I plunked myself smack on the back of her legs, and in a second I had her socks off. Most times when I tickled her, I would stop when she started screaming. This time, I didn't. She laughed and screamed and bawled herself blue. I didn't stop tickling her feet until my father pulled me off. He shook me by the shoulders. "What's getting into you lately?" "Nothing," I said. "Just getting her back." What was getting into me? Even I didn't know. I didn't care either. All I knew, whatever it was, it felt good. It felt great. Why had I waited until so late in life to have my first rampage? Joey was right. Angels finished last. No more last for me. This dude was headed for a gold medal. I ran upstairs and I pointed at my one-eyed teddy bear. "You're holding me back," I told him. "You're out of here." I opened my window and punted him into the backyard. There was only one thing left to do. My chance came the next morning. As I was getting ready for school, my mother poked her head into my doorway. "Pick up this floor before you go," she said. "It's a disaster zone." She was already gone from the doorway when I sent my answer. "I don't have time." She appeared again. "Pardon me?" "I don't have time," I repeated. "It'll only take a minute. Make time." "After school," I said. "Now," she said. "No," I said. Before she recovered from the shock, I was past her and down the steps. "I'll see you when you come straight home after school," she called as I ran out the door. The next voice I heard was a whole lot different. I was half a block up the street when I heard it behind me. "Hi, Suds." I turned. Not that I had to turn to see who it was. I could have picked Judy Billings' voice out of a million voices. She was smiling. She was looking at me. I wasn't a grilled cheese sandwich after all. We walked to school together. Judy did most of the talking. She kept telling me how famous I was. Everybody was talking about me. But I was only half listening. I was in a daze. I just kept looking at her beautiful face and thinking, man, wow, I am walking to school with Judy Billings. I don't believe it. "Well," I heard her say, "could you?" I snapped out of it. "Huh? What? Could I what?" "Let a bee sit on your arm like Joey Peterson did?" "Sure," I said, "no sweat." For Judy Billings, I would have let an alligator sit on my arm. But we couldn't find any bees. So she said, "How about a spider?" "Why not?" I said, playing it cool, trying not to sound nervous. We started searching the gutter and the sidewalk around people's houses. I spotted a couple of spiders, but I didn't say anything. Then Judy called, "Here, look!" It was on somebody's brick wall. It wasn't a little white house spider. It wasn't little at all, and it wasn't white. It was poking along toward the window. "Just put your hand there in front of it," she said. "Let it crawl right on you." She sounded excited. Her eyes were wide. Her voice was squeaky. "Could be a black widow," I said. "So? It won't bite unless you're mean to it." She was staring at me, waiting. The last 10 minutes had been the best 10 minutes of my life. Was I going to give it all up because I was too chicken to touch a stupid spider? I put my hand on the wall, flat. The spider went around. I did it again. This time the spider climbed on board. Judy shrieked, "Yow!" She pulled my other arm. "Come on!" "Where?" I said. "To school. They have to see." By the time we got to the school playground, the spider was already up around my elbow, a tiny-footed nightmare crawling on my skin. Judy called, "Look, everybody, look!" Kids came running. They jerked to a stop when they saw. They gasped. They gawked. "It's a black widow," she announced to them. "He's doing it for me." The spider was up on my shoulder now, heading for my back. I couldn't see it anymore. I kept my face cool, but I was praying, please don't go down my neck, especially don't go down my shirt. The bell rang. Everybody ran for the door. Nobody was looking. I swatted and twisted and spun around until I was sure that spider was gone. At morning recess, I was mobbed. "Wow, Suds, a black widow! Black widow, man. Weren't you scared? Ooh, Suds." Judy was mobbed too, mostly by girls. "He did it for you?" I guess we were both famous. Is there something going on outside that's more interesting than me? Dogs. Have a good day.